Hi, how's everybody doing today? Just thought in this video I'd show you the final build. Um, sorry I didn't film it all. I started filming me putting the parts together, and my battery was almost dead and I didn't have another battery charge, so I was like, I don't want to wait 2 hours for the battery to charge just so I can put it together. I wanted to put it together. So I got all the parts on. I didn't have a brake bleed tool, so I had to, I just dropped it by the bike shop and had them bleed it, so I didn't have to buy the tools and stuff. I also didn't have the bottom bracket tool because this is a special T47 bottom bracket. Eventually I'll get the tools, but for this one I wanted to ride it because the weather was turning. It was becoming winter. So anyway, so I got a couple rides on it, and now it's cold again. But so here's what I got. This is the Checkpoint SL. Checkpoint SL is a 58 centimeter frame. That's kind of my size. I got Sun Ringo. These are the Duroc G30 wheels. It's a 30 millimeter wide rim, so kind of a wide rim for a gravel bike, but that gives more air volume in the tire, and I think it aids a little bit in the tire stability. You just are kind of at a limit as to how small of a tire you can go. So these are 38s. I probably wouldn't go smaller than this on those, because that rim will do good for a mountain bike tire too, like a 2.5 inch tire. It was very hard getting parts for these, for the bike, because I couldn't get the bike. They're like, oh, that's back ordered until January, and this is in late summer when they said that. But we can build up a bike. So they sold me this bike frame. This is a bike shop I used to work at too. I was a bike mechanic for 4 years, and sales manager actually. But I work like 100 feet from them now, so it's convenient. But anyway, it was hard to get the parts because there's global shortage on everything, right? So this seat post is off of my road bike. I like this one because it's got this elastomer insert, and it's a lot more comfortable. It's noticeable. I'm on the heavy side. I'm 200 pounds about right now. I'm on the heavy side for what they say the seat post rated for, but I've been using it for years and it's never had a problem. That little Zertz insert they got, it just makes the back end a lot more comfortable. And with my back problem, that's welcome. And it's still light, but it's not as light as the weight weenie post. So I swapped that one out and I put it on here. Lucked out it was the same size. I got the GRX 810 Shimano crank. I'm trying a 1x setup just to see how I like the simplicity of only having to shift the back. It's also lighter. I got the Shimano XT pedals. I have a Shimano XTR chain. This is the only thing that I'm having an issue with right now. I've got the Dior XT 11-speed rear cassette. I've got the GRX crankset, which offsets like 2.5 millimeters out, I believe, so you have chain clearance for wider tires if you want. So the chain line's slightly different on that. I've got an XTR chain, but the gear mesh, you can probably hear it. It's not buttery. Pretty loud clicks too on that hub. It's not buttery smooth. It smooths out when it's under tension from pedaling, but you can tell it's not as smooth as either my mountain bike or road bike. So I'm not sure what the problem is. It's an 11-speed chain, and that's an 11-speed cassette. So if you know what the mesh problem could be, let me know. Shimano XTR chain, Shimano XT, Dior XT rear cassette, Shimano GRX chain ring. So if you know what problem that is, let me know. Do I need a different chain? Do I just need to put a 10-speed chain on because it's wider and has a little more clearance? I don't know. Anyway, I tried several seats on here. I tried the one actually that looks the best, I think, is this one. Actually, now that I got the tan walls, I might put this back on. The Brooks B17. This one's still not fully broken in yet, and it's on the heavier side too. It's like another, I don't know, 150 grams or so more than this one. This is the San Marco Rolls. This is a classic seat from the 90s, you know, the Tour de France from way back. Probably before the 90s too, but that's kind of when I was getting into it, about 1989 is when I got into it, when I saw Greg LeMond win the Tour de France in '89. Yeah, I picked up all the Sports Illustrated's his covers for the shop here. I'm gonna get some frames, I think, and hang them on the wall here. Get a little bike art, but I gotta paint the wall first since you plaster and stuff. Anyway, this is gonna go probably back on here because the tan sidewalls, this would look mint. I just gotta break it in real good. I got the narrow. I kind of wish I got the standard, but for now this one's on here because this one's comfortable. My butt's like this shape. What else we got? I got the max spacers in the front, so I got room to adjust. You know, I want to get comfortable there, and then I can always put spacers up and lower it down as I feel like it. But again, back problem. I want to have the max that is allowable for now. The Uno stem, that's super light. Ritchie WCS bars. They have this big flare. I don't know if you can see that. They flare out. This is the 46 centimeter. They also have like a 52. I didn't want them like crazy wide, but I wanted them wider than your typical road bike. Annoying thing is, first ride out, we climb up a hill to the airport, and it's a super steep hill. It's just brutal to climb. But it was so windy. I leaned my bike up against a light pole, go to take a picture of it. It blows over because it's so light and it was so windy, and it rips my bar tape first thing. I'm like, oh man, you know what bar tape costs nowadays? This is just like a little foam wrap. Like this should be $2, should be, but they charge 30 bucks for them. It's crazy. And then I took, I don't know, half hour, and I did a mint wrap job too, and then it just ripped the first time I took it out. This palm swell is really comfortable as well, by the way, on the bars. But GRX 810 levers. I got my Wahoo out front mount. This is just the factory Wahoo mount because I think it's probably the lightest one. It's like a polymer. This bike, I was trying to keep it, I wanted to be under 20 pounds. And I was really close with that, with the tires I put on it. That's the thing that I want to talk about. These V-Tire Speedster, I put these on, and the molding is so bad on them. All around the bead, there's like rubber flashing and stuff, and then you get sealant squirting through. Like this tire would be fine for a tubed setup, but I would not recommend them for tubeless. I would come out, I'd pump them up to 60 PSI, and then I'd come out in the morning and they'd have like 15 PSI in them, and there'd be sealant laying on the floor. I thought maybe I had a rim tape problem in the wheel, but I thought I'd try a different tire just to be sure. And this is the Panaracer Speedster, 38 millimeter. No problems at all. These, I pumped them up, and like shockingly so. Even they seem more airtight than an inner tube. It's pretty crazy. I pumped them up to like 50 PSI. A month later, just yesterday I checked them, they were at 40. So like I only lost 10 PSI in a month. These things lost like 50 PSI or 40 PSI overnight. And actually one time we loaded up the bike on the truck and went to go ride, and I pump up my tires before I go ride every time. So I pump up the tires, we load up the bike, we get to the park, you know, we're gonna ride around this lake, and the tire doesn't have enough PSI to do the ride. It went flat just on the truck on the ride there. So in about an hour or two, kind of crazy. That was annoying. Anyway, what else can I tell you? GRX 810 derailleur, pretty much went GRX 810 across the board, except for the brake calipers. I have Ultegras because I couldn't get the GRX calipers. Also the brake discs. These are the XT Shimano Dior XT brake discs, because they have the ice technology, the cooling fins, and they're a bit lighter than the old discs. I had a SRAM disc for a while because when I was building it up, I didn't have the spacer for the rear. The Ultegra rear caliper only comes set up for 140 millimeter rotors for some reason, and they don't give you a spacer in the package. But I wanted good braking without being heavy, so I wanted the brake disc to match, so I just got a 160 in the back. But I couldn't put it on and go ride, so I had to buy this SRAM 140, and that one's like 3 ounces heavier than this 160, so these are nice light discs. When I built it up with the Speedster tires, the other tire, and then kind of a heavyish seat, you know, this isn't an ultralight seat, with the Wahoo and everything, it was just under 21 pounds, bottle cage and everything. That's with pedals. I don't weigh without pedals. You're gonna have to have a pedal. It's like part of the bike, but all these guys that do these custom builds, they build their bike and they weigh it without the pedals and go, oh, look how light it is. Well, yeah, if you leave parts off the bike, it's gonna be light. But these tires here, they were spec'd at 340 grams a piece, which is 125 grams lighter than the Speedsters a piece, like a quarter pound. But they came in at 319 grams, so even lighter still. So that shaved over a half pound off the bike, which was pretty cool. And then if I swap the seat to a lighter option, I was gonna do this flight seat, and I still might, because that's a classic shape too, but then I'll be right about that just under 20-pound mark. So anyway, I'll stop rambling. That's the bike for now. I might put the brown seat back on and do, since I tore the bar tape, I'm either gonna sew this up, just stitch it up and kind of use it, or put some brown bar tape on, because I think green with the tan sidewalls, a brown seat, and brown bar tape would look real classic. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But that's my bike for now. You guys have a good one.